Stick with me on demo4.php for just a little bit longer because I want to show you some of the tools that will help you decipher what's going on with your page and show you some of the magic that's going on behind the scenes. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Alright, so we're at demo4.php. I'm using the Firefox browser and I have some add-ons. Up here, this row of information, or row of buttons I should say, is the web developer add-on that I've previously added to Firefox. Let me show you what's going on at the bottom of the screen. I have some funny things at the bottom of the screen, including a monkey head, but over here I have something called Firebug. So this little cockroach looking thing, if I click on it, it opens up another page where I can take a look at what's going on behind the scenes. And I use probably about 5 to 10% of what Firebug has to offer. It is a very, very powerful web development tool for JavaScript programmers. It's extremely useful, and I'll show you exactly how to use it and what's going on. But let me close this down and show you. In Demo 4, one of the things that's happening, and let me go ahead and refresh the page. In Demo 4, one of the things that's happening is as soon as the page loads, we're using jQuery to add a div with an ID called target div. So let me just right click and choose view page source. And again, this is even though it's a PHP page, it's just regular old HTML. Now I'll let you do this on your own time, but I'm going to show you that for demo4.php, if you just view the HTML, there's lots of JavaScript in here, but there is no div with an ID of target div. It does not exist. It's not in there. But what you can do using the tools, I might have to expand this out here. Let me see. Yep. All right. Shoot. How am I going to do this? All right. Using the web developer. Here we go. Using the web developer tools, one of the things I can choose is I can click on the view source button. I could just view the source like I already did, or there's also this option. It says view generated source. So view generated source, what is that? Well, what that does is that says, okay, there's some JavaScript going on the page, or there might be some JavaScript adding some extra HTML at runtime. So let's go ahead and view the generated source. And sure enough, it is different, and you see that it's called the DOM source or DOM source of selection. And forgive me if I said it incorrectly, but you'll notice that there is a div with an ID of target div. So what happened was jQuery added that in as soon as the page loaded. That's completely, so the generated source code is different than the HTML source code. And that may sound confusing, but it's just another way I'm showing you a way to use some of the tools that you can add to Firefox so you can see what's actually going on behind the scenes. All right, let me show you what Firebug does. Let me hit refresh here. Okay, with Firebug, what we can do is we can watch some of what's going on with the AJAX application. So let me go ahead and move this down, give ourselves plenty of room, and I'm going to click on the change here. Now notice what happened. There was a little spinning icon, and it probably happened a little too fast for you to see, but it shows us that sure enough we're sending post variables over to a page called jbdemo.com 15 days DVD / row count, just as I showed you in the last chapter or tutorial. And if I click on this, I can scroll down to the bottom and it can say load response. So it will give me the option to say, well, what sort of information is it sending back? So it's sending back this information, 13 counties with growth greater than 20%. So the file rowcount.php is actually generating this whole sentence. So the PHP code grabs the information out of the database and formulates a sentence, and then the AJAX part of this web application grabs that text and puts that right here into the div that was created at runtime. So some very cool stuff going on. Let me show you, and you can click on the post to see that sure enough we are sending over a variable with the name of growth, and the value is 20. Well, what does 20 match up with? 20 matches up with what we chose here. So if I go back to Notepad++, let me open up row count. Where is row count? Here we go. Row count. Okay. I'm not going to be able to wade through all of this PHP, but basically it's connecting to the database, and let's see here. It's looking for, here we go. It's looking for a post variable called growth, which makes sense because in demo 4 we're telling it send over growth and assign it the value from the dropdown. So, and we're looking for an integer. So we take that information, put it into the variable safe growth, and then we go and grab the information from the database. And here's where the magic happens. We say echo means print this out to the browser, send it to the browser. However many rows there are, so let's say there are 13 rows. Counties with growth greater than whatever the growth is, and then put the percentage. So that's how row count.php is generating that information, and then our demo4.php page is taking through the AJAX functionality of jQuery. It's taking that information, that text, and popping it into the div with ID of target div, which, by the way, remember, did not exist until jQuery came along and made that happen. So I wanted to show you some of the tools so you can diagnose and dissect what's going on behind the scenes with your web-based application.